What's up, everybody? Michael Silva here. We're going to be looking at a psychedelic stock that looks like it's ready to pop. We're going to be getting into that chart here momentarily. First off, I want to let everyone know and be very clear that this is a sponsored video by the specific company. I am being compensated to build awareness for it. The reason why I am really doing it is because when I pulled up the chart actually looks really good, like it is about to pop off. So I can't wait to get into that. But the psychedelic space we'll talk a little bit about. I am by no means a professional in this space. However, it has been getting a lot of steam and a lot of momentum. What do I mean by that? Well, first off, Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank, very familiar face. He's betting big on the psychedelic space. Now, what are psychedelics? Why are they being used? Why is the focus on them? Well, Johns Hopkins Medicine recently released a study that they did. This is big news, November 4th, 2020, that the psychedelic treatment with psilocybin relieves major depression. Some of the facts that they shared here was 2 doses of psilocybin relieves major symptoms for people with depression for at least a month. But the list of articles go on and on in this space. This one was from US News, Why Investing in Psychedelic Medicine Could Be Better Than Cannabis. Now, psychedelics were classified as a Scheduled I drugs in the 1960s and 1970s under the United States Controlled Substance Act, and they're still federally branded as illicit today. However, that doesn't mean that there's progress not being made in advancing this psychedelic medicine and reforming the laws and regulations surrounding these promising treatments. We're seeing very similar things take place in the cannabis sector. Here is some important news around Oregon's Measure 110 addiction recovery centers, which easily passed by 58.5% yes vote, took it a step further by not only decriminalizing the personal possession of a variety of drugs for adults, but also allocated state funds towards health assessments, addiction treatments, harm reduction efforts, and other services for people with addiction disorders. So there's a big grass movements around this and in support of decriminalization of the psychedelic medicine. We're not there right now, but it is gaining momentum and influencing the scientific and regulatory regimes for multiple geographies. So the company that's sponsoring this video, I don't have money invested at this particular point in time, but like I said, I'm a technical chartist, and when I look at this chart, this to me looks like a very clear falling wedge. What company is this? This is Entheon Biomedical Corp. It is traded in the US on the OTC market, as well in Canada on the Canadian Stock Exchange. Now, I'm going to have ticker symbols in the description below if you want to take a look at it for yourself. But clearly, this recently just opened up, okay? Started trading late last year, sorry. The volume accumulation, not the greatest as where it stands right now, but they are, once again, building a public campaign to bring awareness to this company and what it is that they're doing. And we'll dive into the company a little bit too, because I know a lot of people want to know about the specific companies that they are investing in. And Entheon, I'll get into that. But first off, from a technical perspective, this is a very tight falling wedge. This represents a potential opportunity for the stock to break out. And a falling wedge of this size breaking out right at around 50 cents, and you can measure it from right here, the bottom of the falling wedge to the top. That can bring it to a potential target of around $1.10 to $1.50 in a relatively quick period of time if it breaks out. All right, you need to manage risk. You got to watch for liquidity. First off, when you look at the volume here, 24,597 trading at 50 cents. That's not a lot of volume. One single trader can bump this up. So these microcap stocks, you need to be very, very careful with. The market cap right here is only right around 20 million. So these things can move very quickly, and you can get stuck in liquidity traps. However, when they move, you can make some good money. So you got to be very careful. You got to manage risk. It's something that I'm going to be paying attention to here in upcoming couple of days, potentially even in the month of April, where seasonality suggests that the healthcare sector does very good, as well as other sectors. So this could be a good sign here for this specific company. But let's talk a little bit more about the company. Here's the About section of the Entheon website, and you can see here that they are developing a DMT-assisted therapeutic protocol that will be specifically tailored to address the core mechanisms underlying drug-seeking and using behaviors. Their chief aim is to provide an effective and scalable therapeutic protocol that will serve as a vital resource for those afflicted with a substance abuse disorder and who are wanting to reclaim their lives. Now, DMT is a very powerful therapy tool. It contains a brew of ayahuasca and has been used for centuries for a way of treating mood disorders, addictions, and psychological problems. Now, studies have been done from the 1990s to 2015, and they found that it does show the capabilities of treating many problems, including drug addictions, depression, anxiety, addiction to cigarettes, addiction to alcohol, etc. Then leading experts in the field suggest that the healing potential for DMT and psychedelics in general is based on fundamental positive shifts in how we think and how we see the world around. Now, according to the CEO of Entheon, Timothy Ko, the use of psychedelics can open up the components of openness and self-transcendence in its patients. And a quote from him was, "From a neuroplasticity perspective, it allows the user to face more difficult elements of thinking. Psychedelics are known to change one's relationship to the default mode network so that it increases brain entropy and allows for more connectivity." The chief executive officer of Entheon Biomedical Corporation is Timothy Ko. It is headquartered in Canada, and it was founded on the principle that people suffering with life-inhibiting addiction disorders should have access to all scientifically validated treatment protocols. This right here is Entheon Biomedical's estimated timeline to anticipated FDA approval here just past 2026. Now, the company has already entered into a clinical study agreement with the Contract Research Organization to conduct an early phase human clinical trial with DMT. And as Mr. Ko reports, he quotes, "With the CHDR's partner pharmacy having successfully received an amendment to its opiate license to include DMT and having applied for its import permit for DMT, we are advancing on steps for clinical trials, which is expected to start in the late summer of 2021. Now look I am no professional in this space by any means. I'm going to have links to this website so you can learn more for yourself, and you can even Google the CEO. He's been in plenty of interviews if you want to learn more. I am a technical chartist, and by just looking at this pattern alone, it's been coiling up very tightly, and it makes for a good risk versus reward trade. I am mindful of where the volume currently stands, but then you mix this in with the, they're building awareness for this company right now because it's only a $20 million market cap, so it's a micro cap company here, but they're working hard to find sponsors to promote and build public awareness for this specific company, and that could result in an increased volume and a potentially more buying coming into it. Not to mention, the company is in progress to make some big moves within a space that's already growing. So I'm a fan. I don't have my own personal money in it at this particular point in time, but hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you back on the next.